Going to a new city, especially a big city like London, public transportation can feel overwhelming, but don't be overwhelmed with London's public transportation because it is fast, it is reliable, and it is cheapish, and it's a great option. So we are here to help you navigate London's transport system. Hi, America.
And I'm Jordan.
And we're your guides abroad.
And stay to the end because we have a bonus. We talk about etiquette on public transport in London.
We've lived all over the world and now feel most at home traveling. We're not just here to show you what we've done though, we will tell you how to do it.
We lived in London for 3 years, and then we lived in the county next door, Surrey, for 3 additional years, so 6 years total. We have a tremendous respect for Transport for London. This is the institution that runs all the public transport for London. We actually both still get their emails.
Yes.
And then we talk about their emails.
We'll never unsubscribe.
We really love them a lot. So don't be overwhelmed, as we said, but also these are the 9 mistakes that we learn, and when we go back to visit London, we still see people making. So we're here to help. So number 1 is not downloading Citymapper app.
That is a mistake. You should download it before you leave.
And I thought, because we've been gone for a few years from London, we're like, oh, maybe another app came out. But so many people we talk to, especially local Londoners, they're like, no, you gotta use Citymapper. So you punch into Citymapper where you wanna go in your current location. It'll tell you how long every mode of transport will take.
Yeah.
Right? If you wanna get a Boris bike, if you wanna walk, if you wanna get an Uber or taxi, or take the tube, it'll even tell you like what part of the train to get on. Just get Citymapper.
Side note, I don't think they still call them Boris bikes anymore, but Jordan will never let go of that. It's the rental bikes that you see all over London.
Cycle hire is what they're officially called, I believe. Or people call them Santander bikes or Santander cycles, because that's the new advertiser. But everyone calls them Boris bikes.
Everyone named Jordan. Okay, so just take away, download Citymapper. When you get there, just use it. Use it for everything. Use it all the time. So the second mistake is not sticking to one contactless card when you pay for your public transportation. So in London, you can either use an Oyster card, which is a prepaid card that you fill up with money and you are able to then ride the bus, the tube, the train.
And this is me beep, dinking it or like clicking it to get in. It's a contactless beep, and then the gates open up.
Or you can use a contactless card. So if your card has this symbol on it, you can use it to beep in and out of your transport stations. But I will say, make sure your card doesn't have foreign transaction fees, because if it does, you'll be charged extra.
And the big mistake we see is that people switch cards because they'll charge you when you go out of the station.
Right.
So you don't want to switch cards because then they don't know how much to charge you, and they'll charge you the max possible. Also, throughout the day, keep using the same contactless card because they'll have a max fare that they'll charge you for the day, which is really nice. It keeps it more economical for your travels.
Yeah, so pick one contactless card and just use that for all of your travel.
So once again, this is my debit card, but also my credit card also have this contactless symbol on it.
Yeah.
So you can use either one. As Erica said, make sure there's no foreign transaction fees. Most credit cards don't nowadays. Wasn't the case like 15 years ago.
Yeah. All right, the third mistake, we are still going to be talking about contactless forms of payment. And the mistake we see people making is trying to use one contactless card or one Oyster card for everyone in their group. We often see people wanting to go on the tube and they're like, I'm going to tap in for me, and now I'm going to tap in for my husband, now I'm going to tap in for my kids. It doesn't work like that.
You'll see them like trying to hand it back.
Yeah.
It just doesn't happen like that because they're charging you when you leave the station.
Yeah.
So everybody needs one.
Yeah.
Mistake number 4 is standing on the left side of the escalator. All right, they'll have signs up all over. The left side is made for walking up the escalator, or some people like to run up the escalator. You stand on the right side. All right, you will get trampled if you're on the left side, or someone will very politely tell you to get over. Mistake number 5 is holding the doors open on the tube.
Yeah.
Do not hold the doors open. You can cause a lot of problems with delaying trains by breaking the doors. You just jump through or wait for the next train. Trains come like every 2 minutes.
They're so fast.
So yeah, you just be patient. You'll get on the next train. Yeah. Except if it's during rush hour. Try not to travel during rush hour. It's really busy on those trains. It's crazy. If you're on holiday, just avoid rush hour. It's the best for everybody.
Yeah.
London has amazing buses, right? This is the double-decker bus. If you go to London, you will ride on a double-decker bus. When you do that, you have to have an Oyster card or a contactless card. You do not take cash on the bus. The driver will just stare at you and point at the little yellow machine that you're supposed to click.
So mistake number 6 is trying to use cash on a bus. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Mistake number 7 is dawdling. London is busy. People are going places. People are on the move. You will see this when you head to any train station or tube station. You just keep moving. So I know we all want to snap those pictures. Maybe move to the side before you do, because please. Everybody's just trying to get to their train, their tube, their next destination.
Number 8 is a mistake Erica makes all the time, apparently. Not with me. But anyways, it is forgetting your transfer. This happens a lot on the tube or the overground. You're gonna have to transfer stations. So don't fall asleep. Look up from your phone, be paying attention because you're gonna have to hop trains.
Or if you're looking at your phone, just make sure you're looking at Citymapper because it will tell you when you need to transfer.
There you go, get that Citymapper app. Gosh, we're so helpful. And finally, mistake number 9 is thinking a taxi or Uber will be faster. That's not always the case.
Yeah.
London traffic continues to get worse and worse. Like, it was bad when we lived there, and then when we visited again this last summer, it was pretty bad. The streets can get backed up. So going underground on the tube or taking the overground train may be faster than doing the Uber or taxi.
Especially if you're heading into central London. For example, I was meeting a friend in Neal's Yard and she was coming from Earl's Court and she was short on time and she was like, you know what, I'm just gonna take a taxi. And she was late. And she ended up getting on the tube because it was taking so long because central London just gets really busy.
It is. Don't get us wrong. You should totally do a black cab when you're there. It's part of the experience.
We love them.
It's a cool car. Ask them about the knowledge tests. They love talking about driving around. They always have really good stories.
Yeah.
All right, on to the bonus. Helps you out when you're visiting London is etiquette on public transport. There's no hard rules on this, but are things that we notice that makes everything run a little more efficiently and more polite. So number 1 is you'll find people on the tube not talking.
Or not talking loudly.
Yeah, it's a very quiet place. It's a running joke in London, is like not talking on the tube. People are just on a book, on their phones, headphones in, head down. So if you do decide to talk or if you need to talk, just talk quietly.
Yeah.
Another one is hugging the pole. Those are poles in the middle. You see people leaning against them, and usually people need to hold onto them.
Yeah.
Another one is please move down towards the middle of the train. I'm not saying all English people do all this stuff either, by the way. No. Not at all. They always like to congregate, or people like to congregate by the doors, right? But try to move to the middle of the train cars or the carriages. Another one is don't stand in front of the doors when the doors open. Stand off to the side is a big one. Another one is make sure you keep those seats open for pregnant people and disabilities. And to be honest, a lot of disabilities you can't see them.
Yes.
So if there's a seat reserved for someone who needs it, leave it to them.
Yeah.
Also look for little buttons too that people wear. They give you little 2 buttons for people who need those extra seats or are pregnant.
And let me just give you a tip, and I truly don't understand why more people don't do this, but the middle of the tube, the center cars are always packed, jam-packed with people. If you want to potentially get a seat, the front carriage or the back carriage are so much more empty. I know you have to walk a little further down the platform, but it's worth it, I think.
There you go. All right, so just another one of those Oyster cards, because that's a big one. This video is about mistakes, it's nice. You can get an Oyster card if you're gonna ride the tube lots of times, and you have to pay for, I think it's like £5, and you get your money back for a little Oyster card. But if you have a card, a credit card or a debit card that has that little symbol on it, then you can just use this, so you don't need an Oyster card at all. And a fun fact, because I always wondered, why are they called Oyster cards? It's kind of a weird name, right? So it's actually from the advertising firm Saatchi & Saatchi. They're hired by the TfL to create these RFID Oyster cards. They looked at lots of different names, and they just like the Oyster card because people trust the strong bivalve mollusks, and they just saw it as a good, strong name to use, and nobody else was using it, so they went with Oyster card. I thought it came from Hong Kong, the Hong Kong public transport in England, but that's the reason why they came up with it. Random, isn't it?
It is.
There you go. Thanks so much for watching. If you're looking for great ways to get around London, we have a wonderful one-day itinerary to take you all over central London. This was the itinerary that Erica would give to her friends and family to get them out of the flat. So click the link down in the description below to grab that free one-page download.
Thanks so much for watching.
Thanks so much.